Hey family, thank you for tuning into Our Roots podcast. With Joseph Babaifa, where only the strongest roots see the light, brought to you by Botanica Candles and more. And if you haven't had the opportunity, hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. What's going on, Phil?
Joe, your camera's the other camera.
The other one?
Look to your, nope, there we go.
This guy? All right. I'm over here talking to the left. What's going on, guys? There's too much going on. We did a live just now.
Full house in here.
Full house, man.
We got a party in here.
Oh, man, good
stuff. And it looks like we're live on TikTok.
Are we allowed to say that on YouTube?
I will hope so. Looks like we're live on TikTok. So, but let me just tell everybody, if you're watching on TikTok, the main thing is to come to the YouTube channel. Yeah. Because I will not be able to see your comments
or questions
from TikTok because we're literally doing this on a different phone.
Yeah.
So if you can come on over to the good old YouTube and watch us in full HD. You can see the comments on the screen, the questions, all that jazz. And, you know, if you are live with us, please make sure you say, hey, what's up? And remember, super chats are always going to be welcome because these do get pretty busy sometimes.
Oh,
so if you have a question or something that you really, really want answered, you can drop a super chat and we will get that straight on to the top.
Word. Definitely, guys. Super chats are the key because I don't know how many people are watching right now, but it's more than likely going to be over 100 today. And, we want to make sure we address everybody's stuff in a timely fashion.
Shout out to several people who became a member right off the bat.
Alchemist, what's good?
Yeah, Animal Crackers.
Boru Boya to the Animal Crackers.
I shouted them out before, but
Fasaking, Aboru.
Yeah. Okay, so let me make sure that we are good to go.
Phil, the beard is back, by the way.
I see that. You look good, man.
Thank you, dog.
You look good, man.
My kids keep me young.
People like 2 lives in a row. That's right.
Let's go.
All right, so here we go. It's from Trinarican.
All right, my goddaughter. Blessings. Great combo. Any advice on how to get over the fear when you are developing your abilities? I think meditation is key. Building a better relationship with yourself and trusting yourself more to trust that you have the ability to identify when you are safe. Because I think when you're still not sure of how to identify certain things, you get worried, like, should I let the spirit come through? Should I not? And obviously this is based on the live we just did. I've never come into trance, right? But you guys be on the lookout for the most amazing Espiritista panel I've ever seen, especially in English, where we touch on all those different topics. But a lot of meditation and trust work with yourself, and you should be just fine.
What other microphone is that that's in the way? Which one is that? On your right.
Which one?
Yeah, what microphone is that?
Oh, I didn't even see that thing, man.
There we go.
Get out of here. Get out of here. These microphones are aggressive.
I know. All right, here we go. People are saying what's up. People are coming in. I'll tell you how many are in the chat in just a minute. Let's just get some of these out.
Christian, Aboru, what's going on, Poppy?
Hey, there's Animal Crackers. Animal Cracker says, hey, y'all.
Hey.
All right, we got people from Cleveland.
Yeah, shout out to Cleveland, man.
All right.
Alafia.
All right. And if you were in the live chat before, drop your questions in here so we can comment on them.
Address them definitely, guys, so we don't leave you hanging. It was just, we could have went another hour, 2 hours,
2 hours
for sure.
Easy, yeah.
Too many powerhouses on that panel.
All right, here we go from Junior.
Junior, my wife would like to know if you can come into trance while attending the boda.
Wait.
Yes.
All right. Did you already answer that or no?
No.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, you definitely can. There's nothing wrong with it. Usually the spirit won't stay too long, or it'll let you know what it needs before it leaves. But it's usually when they have a really specific message or urgent message that they have to give where they feel the need to come through. And it isn't always going to be the person's there, now the spirit's there, and vice versa. Sometimes it's just an influence. So you kind of have to gauge it. And, of course, when that happens, somebody who's ideally or hopefully in the house contact their elders to kind of work through that process.
Okay, we got more people here. Let me check.
Alafia.
TikTok. You know what's crazy, right?
Napoles.
I got a new phone, right?
Okay.
And I can't install TikTok on it.
So. I don't know what's going on with the world, man.
Well, because it was blocked. Remember that?
Yeah. That was wild when you would go into the app and be like, "We're working on things right now. Visit us later."
Yeah. Well, so now I just can't even install it on my new phone.
Oh wow.
Right. And so
that's interesting.
I have to check on the web to see if we're even on.
Oh, okay.
So give me a sec. It's
take your time.
Botanica
Candles and more.
and Mo. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Make sure we're live. Make sure, see how you look. Yep. Okay, good. I still see you there. So awesome.
Here we go.
All right, guys. So Kathy is in the chat.
Bendiciones.
All right. Conchu is in the chat.
Boru.
All right. You guys ask your questions here, but here you go from Animal Crackers.
Can you speak of Odde and the benefits of receiving Odde de Ifa? So this is interesting, right? Because the word Odde means hunter. And based on the Odus of Babaugunameji and Obeade, it's been identified as a deity unto itself that is identified as the father of Oshosi, right? So it's a deity confectioned by Babalawos from what I understand, for men, right? I personally haven't come to the conclusion within my practice as to if I'd give that deity to a woman, because in the Odo of Obeade was where Yemaya didn't want to interact with him. So there was like the only person I'll interact with are my brothers and sons. So here's the thing though. The word Odde means hunter, and it's actually a title for Babaluaye, which is Baba Odde. So some people would go as far to say that Odde is nobody else other than Babaluaye, right? Because in the Odo of Baba Ogunameji, which is where Odde was born, it speaks of the verse where Babaluaye was known as Baba Odde and his young manifestation as a hunter, right? But then you open this can of worms, is Babaluaye Ochosi's father. So that's for the person to conclude, right? But benefits, they say it has a lot of legal benefits, a lot of benefits when it comes to accomplishing goals and whatnot, being that he is the hunter, all of these different things. So ultimately it's a beneficial deity, but some people would say, hey, just receive Babaluaye. Some people would say, hey, receive both or receive the Lukumi one, to each his own.
All right. Okay. I love this, man. This is like organized chaos.
Yeah. No, the lives are awesome,
If
man.
you guys were in my studio right now, you can see what's happening, but I love it. We got some behind the scenes footage too, so
Nice.
I'll eventually put it out here.
That was a great recording.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
Taz Ja.
I've been following you a while. Thank you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
All right. So this one's cut off, so I'll read it to you once it gets cut off.
Cash Johns, my apologies for the redundancy, but this is a question I had in the past live as a spiritualist in training. How
do you get past the fear aspect of connecting to the spirit outside of dreams?
Yeah. I can speak from a non-trance standpoint. Putting in time at your boeda, lots of meditation and introspection, learning how to trust yourself, because usually that's a result of anxieties from pre-existing situations that we haven't worked on. Maybe having an icon for that spirit to help normalize that energy a little bit more and become more comfortable with it. Any of those things could definitely assist.
Okay. All right. We got a $5 from Trinity.
Thank you. Logistics of building a clientele as a spiritist, best practices doing spiritual work for
clients.
The logistics is, making yourself available, preparing yourself for anything that could come through that door. It's kind of like being an emergency physician. You don't know what's coming through the doors, but you have to be able to attend to it and maintain a state of stability. As far as ethics, make sure you arrive in the cleanest state possible, mentally, spiritually, and physically, and making sure you educate your clients to be able to do the same so they can get the best results from your services.
Okay. I don't know if this is real, but it said we got 911 likes on this video from TikTok.
Oh my God!
I think that's correct. I don't know,
Whoa!
But sure.
That was quick.
Yeah. Wow. All right, here we go. This is from Taz.
What are tips for protection against constant jealousy and envy? Make sure you're doing your annual ebo from your sign a year. Work the boveda. It's a pretty streamlined economic option. Cleanse yourself frequently. Try to be more discreet. Try to post less on social media as long as it doesn't affect your prosperity. But, sometimes we have to analyze what are we doing to cause that envy and jealousy? Not literally, but, subconsciously, could we give them less weapons for those emotions? So, for example, myself, my private life is my private life. I only post things about my business or that which could further Ifa. But you don't see me posting pictures of the dinner I took my wife out on or the outings I go on with my children, because that's mine, So we have to be a little more reserved sometimes when you notice you're under that kind of scrutiny.
So this is a question I've never seen before. So if you don't want to answer that, okay.
Okay. Why is there a large following from the Latino community practicing demonology? I was unaware of that.
Yeah. Okay.
I could just imagine maybe people are delving into that because maybe they've lost faith in some of the more popular spiritualities. But, I mean, Ifa has great options. So I definitely recommend Ifa over that. So depending. I just don't know what to say.
Okay. All right. We got a hello from Chicago.
Shout out to the Shy.
All right. Look at this. From
rocking with you when you first started on YouTube. Thank you. Salute.
All right. $2 from Kelvin.
Okay. Can you explain Okana Owani, which is also known as Okana Yabile? Okanrang Yabile means Okanrang was firm in the house that he owned. So Ifa says that home ownership is a priority there, to have that spiritual tranquility and be able to express yourself so you can actually see that progress. One of the biggest taboos in that Odde is living with other people besides your partner and children of age. So that Odde says, please find a way to own a home or a space and protect it. And be very careful who visits you because not everybody that knocks on your door is your friend.
All right, so I'm back to the YouTube chat here. So we got
Nice.
a $10.
Okay. Any book recommendations to study Odde before I come out with ours? Definitely falinks.com. Baba Popola is a guru. May God bless him wherever he is. But I would, if you are eligible to study Odde, I think that's the first thing is, unless you are initiated Babalawo, you really shouldn't be delving into like books like Ifat Dida or anything like that, in my humble opinion. But there are other great works there, like Pathway to Ifa, Omolu Abi, or Kunle Abi Amo. Like, these are all Odus. These are all books that touch on specific topics, citing Odde. So that's more acceptable. And he has a bunch of great, folders and articles on various Orisha. I would just stay away from Ifat Dida, and you'll be fine there on that website.
Okay, so we got one more. This is $4.99 from AM Gonzo.
Thank you, Mihala.
Part 1 or 2, sorry. Part 1 or 2, I don't know where 2 is yet.
It's coming, I'm sure. What advice would you give someone who is a part of any of the ATRs and or spiritual practice? Oh, man. Surround yourself with good people and only be visible to those that are good. I think one of the things that most caught me off guard when I started this channel was first the response, thanks to all of you guys, but just how frustrated some people can be, when you have a piece of information that they don't, or you might be doing something that they aren't, and obviously they're doing and knowing things that you aren't, but you're not frustrated with them. I think our community has become very frustrated rather than unifying. So I think the best advice is just surrounding yourself with good people who don't have a track record of just being conflictive, because that's not a way to live. There's only so many ways conflict can end. So you got to stay far from it if you're not trying to meet any of those.
All right, here, part 2.
Who are in an environment where the practices are not welcome or maybe even scrutinized. Okay, well, that changes my answer a little bit. Be as private as you can be. I mean, there's no point in making more enemies, but once you have the opportunity, get your own space and do whatever you want, because as long as you pay your bills, no one can tell you what to do other than the federal government.
That's true. All right, let's go back up. All right, hold on. So many comments already.
Nice.
Here we go.
What are all the benefits of casting Obi? First and foremost, it's an offering. So the Orisha receives it that way. Then it's a communion where you're going to get some questions answered. So being able to divine or tell the future or what's to come, great benefits in that, or even get closure and confirmation on the past or the present. Eating it has its benefits as well, depending on the Orisha and whether they share it or not. Obi Abada is said to have some of the highest vitamin C concentrate of any, item. So, or the coconut, which has its benefits as well. So,
all right,
all those things.
I have TikTok up on my laptop here.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to ask. So it says we got 1.6K likes for this video already.
Jeez.
If you're watching on TikTok, can y'all make sure that y'all can hear correctly? Because I got a wireless mic plugged in. So if y'all hear correctly, just let me know. So this says, can you talk about Yemaya Ibu Korla? Was it Korla?
Ibu Kola.
Konla, yeah. Ibu
Konla.
Konla. Yes. That is from Fairy Charm.
Okay.
Right.
Ibu.
On TikTok.
Awesome. Shout out to TikTok, right? Don't get mad, YouTube. But Ibu makes reference not to a body of water. It makes reference to a place, right? Kon la, I can't think of anything like tangible there as far as a translation. Kun la might make a little more sense to me, right? Kun making reference to the ocean, and la meaning reference to arrival or presentation or greatness. So it could be the Yemaya that occupies the part of the ocean that is grand, right? It could be making reference to the surface of the ocean, which is actually the part of the ocean that Yemaya occupies anyway. Definitely a much more obscure path, but through translation, you're probably going to get the best results, but that would be my honest response.
Hey, quick question. You know what today is, right? Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh my God, bro. And all these people are watching. Thank you. That's awesome.
So we just hit 2,000 likes on TikTok.
Wow, man. We're getting the Super Bowl numbers, man. Yeah.
Right. And someone
Who you going for?
I mean, we all winning. We got two black quarterbacks. So
oh man, shout out.
I'm just saying.
Word.
We winning. Someone told me this was to me actually. It says use a VPN to download it again. Okay, because I don't have TikTok on my main device. So. All right, back to YouTube here. This is from John.
John Wiley, Sea La Fianio, Detroit here. That's what's up. Any advice for year in white? I just had to cut all my hair off, man. Stay strong. Lots of shea butter, right? Keep that thing moisturized. But analyze your emotions on a serious note. See how you're feeling and see how that reflects your character before being crowned versus how you should have it now that you're moving forward. The hair for me was a big thing. I actually promised my hair to Oshun from the day I received Hand of Ifa and found out she was my mother. So I grew it out for 5 years before I crowned. And I remember part of me was a little sad because I'm like, man, nice hair at the time, young man, you know what I'm saying? But afterwards, I was so relieved and so humbled and so thankful that I had the strength to give it to her. You know what I'm saying? So analyze how you're feeling, see how productive it is, and how you can incorporate that and maneuver that for progress. But congratulations to you. It will be the best and worst year of your life, right? The worst because you're going to experience things that you never thought were possible, and the best because you're going to have the strength to overcome them, my friend. God bless.
All right. Someone's asking, how's Freddie?
Freddie, he should be on the next one. I'm sure Freddie's well. I only hear good things. We haven't interacted in a while, but I heard he's healthy. He's still doing misas like a beast, and we really appreciate all the time he's given the channel in the past. We got to see what his schedule's looking like, but definitely a pro.
Right.
Obara Ika for the Omo Badala for Lucid Gems. Obara Kasika, especially for the Orisha Obadala, should crown Orisha. No questions asked, because in that Odu was where people were having difficulties finding the materials for Orisha initiation, and Obadala, through Orumila's assistance, was able to procure them. It speaks a lot about the herbs, the plants, holistic medicine, etc., and the benefits that come from them. But definitely get organized to crown, because you're not going to see the overall betterment of life in its entirety until you have that process complete.
Okay. Well, someone named Cedric said they had amazing interaction with you.
Shout out to Cedric Calhoun, man. We appreciate you. Thank you. I'm happy you liked it.
Did we answer this one?
Hello, Baba. What are the benefits of cat? Yes, we did.
Okay. All right. Hold on. All right. Let me switch to my monitor here. I'm trying to do a lot of things here. All right. So someone asked, is Papa Legba the same as Baba Luaye?
I believe so. Legba is Baba Luaye or San Lazaro, and then Baron Samdi, I think, is Eshu. I think. Forgive me. I'm not a voodoo practitioner. I'm just going off what I've heard. But I think that's the syncretism.
All right. This one, I'm going to highlight it, but it's from Jovan. Can you see this one?
Do you have any patakis about Anya?
And while you're answering that, I'm trying to trying to fix something on TikTok here. So I got to get up, okay? Okay,
sure. I'll go ahead and answer. Anya is also known as Ayang, right? The Orisha of the transmission of sound or music. This Orisha can be found in various Odus, like Edibere is one of the ones where she came down from heaven and resided within the sacred drums of Bata to carry on her relationship with Shango, her preferred man and his preferred woman. In my Odu of Irete Otura Sekangola is the verse of Shango marrying Bata, right, when they tried to separate them because they were such a power couple. In the Odde of Eyobe was where Ayang first manifested with the boom, which was the Big Bang. Otrupon Wow speaks heavily of this deity. Odi Ogunda, Oditola. There's various issues that have to do with her, like Lamu Lamu Bata, Eshu Ola Ilu and Obetwa, Lamu Lamu Bata and Edibere. And there's an Eshu and Odi Ogunda, which has to do with the recording or transmission of sound as well. Anya was great. The religion doesn't function without her. I mean, you can't carry on any type of interaction without the transmission of sound. So, praise be to her. I've been very blessed to be sworn in. I don't own a drum, but, practicing and learning every day. And, just a beautiful deity that I don't think gets enough attention. You can actually crown her in Nigeria. There's like lineages of drummers and people who've been initiated into Ayang, so that's pretty cool. So it's a little different than our process, but amazing, amazing deity.
All right.
Jay, bendiciones. In my year of white, 4 months left, could you speak on Oshun Ibua Aquaro? So this Oshun was born in the Odde of Obeshe, as well as, I want to say Owani Bosaso. Yes, an Owani Bosa. And the song, O Fenikia, Hey, Hey, O, Ela de Oshun, is actually for that Oshun path, right? Because what happened in Owani Bosaso, Chango and Ogun were fighting over Ochun. Ochun ran away. She was naked in a cave. Ochosi found her. He had just hunted some quails. So he took his fishing net and put quail feathers in it and covered her body to protect her honor and decency. She fell in love with his chivalry. She didn't know he was a king. He took her back to the land of Ketu, where he said he was going to marry this woman. And the people outside were saying, O Fenikia, we want to see and salute the mother. Ela de Oshun, the crown belongs to Oshun, right? And that's when they brought her out dressed in the regal feathers. That's why Ibu Aparo is covered in quail feathers, because the word Aparo means quail. So it's also in the Odde of Obeshe, right, where it's really the concept was born, but the story is in Oworing Osa or Owani Wosaso. Boru.
Boom. From Queen.
Here we go. Boru Aboye Oboato. Can you combine practices like Ifa Christianity or Ifa Islam or Odu that supports? You can, right? But I'm going to be frank with you. There's various Odus that say don't practice Islam. There's various Odus that say don't practice Christianity or any of the Abrahamic faiths, because respect to all the people that practice them. We're all about inclusion, but, we weren't always allies, right? So the literature is based on those encounters. It doesn't have to be a reflection of now, but some people are spiritually incompatible. For example, I recently gave Hand of Ifa to a woman who was born Muslim, right? And it was really ironic because she was going through situations where she's like, I have certain aspirations or desires of life, but based on the dogma of said faith, I feel very frustrated and unable to express myself. So when we did her life divination, Egungun came defending her, and Egungun asked for pork. So it was really ironic because we were talking about, the procedence of her family from Africa and when they assimilated Islam after having indigenous beliefs for thousands of years before then. And one of the main offerings that tribe would offer was a pig. So when you do the Hand of Ifa, it can identify generational curses or schisms going back centuries, right? So in her case, her ancestors were like, please give us pork again, after they were practicing a faith that obviously sees it as taboo. So we're incapable of telling anybody to stop practicing anything, because Orumila really is not concerned with that. Orumila is concerned with, do you fulfill your obligations to your Odu, and do you live a moral, ethical, loving life? So to each his own.
All right, we got a super chat from Ed.
Thank you. Buenos dias, Baba. Machado Badala with Ireden Telu. Any advice? Thank you. Big taboo there, alcohol. And that sign is why you can't put salt or alcohol on a snail's skin, because it functions as acid. You need to be very careful with any habits or anything that involves these things, whether it be, God forbid, high blood pressure or hypertension, or, God forbid, alcoholism, right? If you can become a Babalao, please do. If not, learn as much Orisha as possible, because Ireten Telu is an Odu of consecration. But the Charo Batala there, it was a very grand sign where they accomplished a lot, but they had a lot of hurdles. If none of these things apply to you, it's just one step ahead of the game. Just be wary of viciousness. Avoid it.
TikTok says we got 4,000 likes on this video.
So how many people are watching, though? Is there any way to, is that a reflection of that? Or does that mean at least 4,000 people have just tapped on that?
It says we only have 28 watching, but it says there's 4,000 hearts.
Well, I think what happens is maybe
How does that work
sometimes
on
people,
TikTok?
I don't know, maybe people come in, they like it, and then they step out and they watch while they're doing other things. I don't know. But that's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of comments on TikTok already. So here's one.
Nice.
Can you talk about Iwori Osa?
Iwori
That's from
Wosa,
Fairy Charm.
very nice. Iwori Wosaso, and that's this phone over here. Iwori Wosaso, great Odu, like all of them. The Orisha would help a little bit, but in this Odu, the biggest thing you could do is offer a rat to Eshu on your behalf. Ekute paramao, ekute paramao, loboko washile, ekute paramao, which is the proverb, when the cat is not home, the rats make a party. So this Odu says that one of the first things that have to be done when it's revealed is offer a live rat to Eshu, and that's going to bring prosperity and stability to the person's home and matrimony. So very prosperous piece of work there. So talk to your Bawalao.
Okay, all right, we're about to hit 5,000 hearts on that.
Holy moly.
So, oh, okay, so someone's explaining it to me here.
Oh,
So I guess when you tap a heart, it just automatically adds to the lot of hearts.
okay.
So everybody is tapping hearts. So
So they're liking it.
yeah.
Ultimately.
So, but you don't just get one like per view.
Oh,
so
it
I can
runs
tap
up.
it 1,000,000 times, and it goes up.
It's almost like in live poetry, right? When you get the snaps.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, keep doing it. Okay.
It's crazy because you and I, we're in our 30s. We're not old.
Oh, man. But yeah, I'm so lost,
know,
dog.
We don't know anything.
Bro, it's so crazy what the difference a decade makes. Because I gave up on technology about 10 years ago when I did Ifa. Because I didn't have time for it. I'm like, I got to eat this book and learn this spiritual science. But, bro, now that I have a smidge of downtime, I realize I'm going to have to go back to, I have to take a class to understand this. Like, even my iCloud to me is daunting. You know what I'm saying? So, it's wild.
Okay, so this one is also from TikTok. So I'm going to read it to you.
Nice.
Why is Oshun associated with water when so many of her attributes align more with the earth element? Could she be seen more as a vessel that holds water rather than a water deity?
Well, you got to understand with any of these deities, especially the female deities, which in my opinion are the most multifaceted, they have various attributes. Of course, all of the female deities are river deities. But I can understand the earth concept because a lot of her materials are made out of bronze, right? Minerals and things like that. You know, she's not all about, Sunday swims at the pool. Chung's about business. If you look at the Odu of Oshedi, she was and in Okanadi as well, it was where she actually confectioned weapons together with Ogun. And that's why a lot of her stuff is made out of bronze, because he was the first bronze worker and she assisted him being that they were married. So there's a couple different things. As far as aspects of her and facets and whatnot. But, I mean, absolutely. I mean, it sounds like a pretty coherent interpretation overall.
Okay, all right, back to YouTube. So switch
Awesome.
camera here. We got. Bye.
Bendiciones. Thank you, guys.
See y'all later. Omiyoko is here, by the way. She's
man.
Shadow of Wolves. Yeah, so she's an OG in the channel.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Back to YouTube here. Okay,
Awesome.
Let's go here. Let's see here. Here we go.
Which Orisha is associated with vultures? Oshun and all the feminine ones. Also, what are tips for a child of Olokun? Not trying to, completely serious response. Please crown Olokun directly. That's the biggest tip I can give.
All right. Did we answer this one? No, I don't think
Any
so.
advice? No, we haven't. No, because the other one was Irete and Telu. Good eye.
Okay.
This one's for Irete File, for the Charo of Batala, and the Hand of Ifa. There's a piece of work there where you offer a white rat to a Batala at the foot of a hill. So for anybody who's a Charo of Batala with the Odu of Irete File, I highly recommend that. That's going to change things quite a bit. Make sure Eshu is there as well.
All right, back to TikTok. Someone's asking, can you explain the YouTube classes?
Absolutely. So with YouTube and our memberships and all the things that we have going on, especially now with the inauguration of Joseph Babaifa School, you either have the option of memberships, but memberships get discounts on the curriculum. But ultimately, we're going over different topics. We just got over 100,000 subscribers semi-recently. So we came out with a 4-week curriculum encompassing songs, herbs, offerings such as adimu, as well as vocabulary. So we're going to be coming out with other classes now, such as Mojuba or the initial invocation. And we're going to see how that one goes and just continuing coming out with more offerings. But if you're interested, please visit botanicacandlesandmore.com or call the store directly to have them walk you through the process at 407-440-2086.
All right, I'm going to try something. It might be blurry on your screen, but tell me if you can read. That's the TikTok chat. Can you read that?
We keep tapping. Iboru followed the host. Yemaya and Iwori Wosa. How much of the YouTube classes?
Dude,
when I get your head marked by an Orisha or Oriate, does that it still stand when you receive hand of Ifa? Okay. In our house, no. Being that the Odde Osar Osun says for a guardian Orisha to be asked and be conclusive, it must be done via Iking Fa, right? If you're not going to use Iking, it's better if you don't ask at all. Because if you throw the shell, it's as if you're not asking at all. That's why, if you notice, if an Orisha comes out that said practitioner doesn't like to crown, they'll just ask again in 3 to 4 months. So rather than doing that and wasting everybody's time and money, it's better to just say, hey, I like Ochung, I'm just going to crown Ochung, because at the end of the day, you can crown whichever Orisha is compatible with your Odde of hand of Ifa, by the way. So it's really up to you, but if you're not going to ask with Orula, don't ask at all and just crown whoever you want.
All right, back to YouTube.
All right.
This is fun.
My neck hurting.
This is fun. All right, super chat.
Oh, thank you very much. Iboru Boya, my girlfriend just received Kofa, Irete Kutang, Omo Oshun, best advice. I know that Odde very well. It's one that I hold very dear to my heart. For my father-in-law, Robert, Awo Ifa Oma. Irete Keda, for a child of Oshun, right? In that Odde, it speaks about Mother Earth, right? So it makes reference to all the feminine deities. In that Odde, Ifa says that as parents, we always have to be on the same page so that children are not confused. Because in that Odde was where Father Sky and Mother Earth had differences in opinion about disciplining their children, where Olodumare was going to punish the children who were 3 hunters, and Father Sky was going to let it happen because he felt like his sons needed the discipline, and Mother Earth told them about it, where they weren't able to be punished the way Olodumare wanted at the moment. As even more punishment, he forced her to become mute, right, and not be able to speak. She wasn't able to save them the next time, where they actually fell in a hole, or she actually gobbled them up so they wouldn't feel any more pain. So that Odde says that as a woman, mother, child of a feminine Orisha, we can't be more mothers than women, because our children are all going to have their own trajectory and paths in life. We as parents are there to facilitate their success until they're able to do that for themselves. So in that aspect, it can be a very difficult and emotional Odde, but it also speaks of the transitions of life and parenthood and the mourning process we go through every time our children hit a milestone. So best of wishes. But beautiful Odde spiritually. Work the muerto, lots of Egun work, and please crown Orisha, because that's where the shells were first thrown, amongst others.
All right, this message is for Keys. Can you repaste your question? She said I missed your question, so I can't find it. So please repaste it so I can ask Joseph. But we got another super chat. This one is from Idalis.
Awesome. Any advice for a child of Shango with the sign Otura Obe?
Before you start that, though, look, you have your own emoji. You see that?
Yeah. The meditating one is
What?
beast. Yeah.
It's got the ponytail.
It does. I need to get my bun higher.
The bun, yeah.
Erica does the bun for me sometimes. I can't get back there sometimes.
Cool. All right, Idalis. And then I see Keys' question after that. So
any advice for a child of Shango with Otura Obe? Crown Orisha as quickly as you're able to. And that Odde is where Shango initiated and changed his life for the positive. So that's really the most important thing. Definitely receive Egungun before doing so. Great Odde, great combination.
Okay, all right. This is from Keys.
Iboru Boya, how many fruit do we give Orula? How long do we leave the offering? And where do we take the offering for Orula to receive it? Orula is partial to the orange-colored fruits. Mangoes, oranges, pumpkins, things with vitamin C. He got all those from Ochung, and they would share them. How long do we leave it in front of him until it goes bad, or 16 days? And where do we take it? The garbage is always the best place, but Orumila is also associated with the river due to his marriage with Oshun. So you can take it there well, as long as you're not littering. So.
All right, so this one is back to TikTok. This is from Sasha. She's asking, what are ways to connect to Oya? She is my head. She has my head. By
crowning her, ultimately. Being in nature, I wouldn't be outside in a tornado, though, because she manifests through the wind and whatnot. But if it's a windy day and it's raining and whatnot, Sit on the patio, meditate, make offerings to her through Eshu. But ultimately, to connect with your head Orisha, we got to get her crowned up. So we have to get organized for that. Also, receiving a gungun, being that it is the child of Oya, would be very beneficial as well.
Okay. All right. Someone's asking, can I ask a question about Elekes? Yes, of course.
Sure, yeah.
All right. What should you... Hold on. What do you think about Ogbe Ka Ire Ashagun Ofa? Ota, sorry.
Yeah.
For Child of Oshun.
Obeka.
Sorry, I can't read.
There was a valiant effort, Phil. You're great. Obeka Ire Ashagun Ota is a blessing of overcoming enemies or obstacles. Oshun is not a huge deity there, but the concept of maternity is, and that Odde is where the elephant would leave her kids with the goat, right? But the elephant would leave for long periods of time, and the goat was actually the one who raised them to the point where the children didn't recognize their mother anymore. So that Odde says we should not overly delegate our responsibilities of motherhood or womanhood because it may lead to us getting replaced. So if we're talking about an obstacle, we have to overcome the obstacles that deter us from fulfilling those maternal and feminine roles.
All right. Back to YouTube. Here we go. We got a super chat from Hector.
Thank you. My guerreros, I would imagine, were thrown away by a family member while I was away from home. What do? Get them replaced. The warriors are very easy to replace. Contact a Babalawo that you trust, get some numbers, and replace those things as quickly as possible. And really, I wouldn't interact with those family members again unless it was an accident. And even then, beware.
Okay. This person is in the running for a cool name. Cats are cool.
Okay, yeah, literally.
So they're asking, hold on, let me see if I can.
Shout out to my white Siberian.
Let's see if I can find it on my iPad here, because it's not long, but let me go back. Cats are cool. Here we go. Boom.
Cats are cool. And Ikameji, having multiple Ori, does that mean having more than one soul in your body? As such, I mean, in Ikameji, just like in every Odde, there's ultimately one Ori. Right? I'm not sure what we're referencing as far as the multiple aspect, if it's Orishas, etc. I need a rephrasing of that to kind of be able to, respond coherently.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're about 8,800 hearts.
Nice.
Don't know what that means, but I'm going to keep clicking it too. So.
That's a lot of That's a lot of movement.
That's a lot of hearts. So I'm clicking.
Well, Valentine's Day is on the way, Phil.
Yeah.
Hey.
What'd you get, Erica?
Oh, I can't tell you. She's watching. I can't tell you all that.
All right, here we go from Animal Crackers.
Can you speak on Ikabara as a child of Shango? Ikabara, Shopupanana, Difafunga Gemo. And that sign was where the chameleon was the son of Shango, and he was constantly being attacked because he was being spotted. Divination was performed with Ikabara. He was told to perform a bow with a red cloth and sacrifice to his guardian Orisha. And when he did, Shango draped him in the red cloth, and Ikabara was where the chameleon was able to start turning red, right? So it's a metaphor for initiation into Shango and possibly into Ifa as well, because after he was able to save his life, the chameleon was indebted to Orumila and moved forward with that priesthood as well. So depending on what your situations are, you might have a path for both. But Shango may be the best guardian Orisha in that Odde. Wear red as much as possible. And try to be like the chameleon. Move slow, analyze, just be careful with your words, and try to attack things from a distance.
All right, we got a $10 super chat.
Thank you.
It's this one here.
Any classes for Babalaos? Which classes do you want to see? We are considering that. The most tedious part of that is making sure that the people in the class are actually Babalaos. So you have to have your credentials ready and verifiable. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the classes that we're coming out with initially are going to affect Babalaos positively. But if you want to learn how, if you want a consultation class, got you. If you want a bulk class, got you. But when it comes into consecrating deities, let's say you want to learn how to run an Ifa, I got you, but I wouldn't do that in a class aspect. At that point, we're a little more zealous with that information. You'd have to be, a little more affiliated with the house, maybe, just a little bit more of a in-person apprenticeship and seeing how we can incorporate you.
Okay. Boom.
Any insight, dream speakers? Any insight or advice for a child of Badala with the sign of Funche? Barbayo Fabamila. Yes, in the Odu of Ofunche was where Obatala married the moon, and he invited her into his house, and she was far too big. So she started, criticizing him, saying, if you knew you were going to marry a woman like me, you should have had a bigger house. He's like, I don't have money for a bigger house. So she was like, make more money. So he had to put on his big boy shorts and go make more money to give his wife what she deserved. And he ended up actually moving back into the sky, right? He said, there's no house more grand than this, so I'll go ahead and purchase the cosmos. And they lived there happily. That's why Obatala in Ofunchewe is known as Obatala, the king of dreams, because he occupies the night sky along with his wife, the moon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Ofunchewe.
210 Bloodmasker asked the question about any classes for Babalaos, and then he said Ebo.
Okay, yeah. If you want an Ebo class, absolutely. Yeah, we can make that happen. Verifiable credentials, and we can go over. The thing about Ebo is, for example, which verse from Ayobe are we going to pray? We could put a couple options in front of you, see which one is most accessible to your memory. And yeah, we can make it happen. That's not an issue. So if you're about watching this and you're interested, drop your information, email the store. If you guys are interested in specific classes, please email botanicacandlesandmore@gmail.com so we can kind of start seeing who's interested. So when we're ready, we'll reach out to everybody. Be like, this is the cost of matriculation, and let's get to work.
All right, we got another super chat, but this one was first timer.
Thank you
hold
very
on,
much.
Let me go to the name. Scroll up. There you go.
Okay, Mama E. Mizani. Blessings. Greetings, Baba. Thank you for sharing. Can you please put insight on the Odu Obedi? Obedi kaka Obedi lele ashori ade atutu ibo odo lebo. This Odu speaks of the importance of making offerings to Oshun on an annual basis. The famous offering for Obedi is to offer the 2 hens to Oshun at the river. That should be done on an annual basis, no questions asked. And the preferred offering of the person's ancestors is coffee. So, great Odu. Big fan.
All right, so this one is from Marcelino.
Alrighty then, Bo. I grew up in Christian household. My father was indigenous, and I was around a lot of Pan-Africanism, and I've got to tell you, listening to the Ifa spiritual system is what gives me the most peace. Well, more than likely, Ifa is the root spirituality, so you're probably meant to come back at this juncture. So I recommend either a coaching or an Ifa consultation to see what Ifa has to say to you and see what your next steps could look like, because if you're feeling that much from the outside in, imagine if you got involved. So bless you.
All right, it's from Must Be Magic.
You missed my question. My wife would like to know the meaning of her name, Oba Ti Lorun, right? Oba, king, Ti, loosely translated as of or at, right? Orun, the sky, right? So basically king of heaven. So beautiful name.
Okay. Hold on, let me scroll. Let me go back to TikTok. All right. TikTok. Can I use a babalao to separate my husband from his side chick? Will it work? Sorry, I had to throw that one in there.
None for nothing, but the part that most impacts me is the idea that, that person's tag is visible and whatnot, but we're not going to go there. So here's the thing. You can, but I think what really needs to be done is an analysis of the relationship to see if we're still being productive at this juncture, because you can pay, said bawalao, not this bawalao, because I don't do that stuff. I don't get involved in life like that. But I'm sure somebody would. And what happens when we get rid of this side chick and another one shows up? So you got to analyze the relationship there as a whole and how we can better those things. And if there's children involved, let's keep it classy. But you can. I don't recommend it. I recommend doing some real work on the relationship.
All right, so the person that asked about elekes earlier, DeAndre, he said, can you please explain why you can't wear elekes if you're not initiated? I keep telling my girlfriend.
Awesome. So, great question. And this is on TikTok?
This is on TikTok.
Awesome. So, in the Odu of Obekana was where Orisha and Ileke were married in heaven. And they both went for divination, and the Odu of Obekana was revealed to both, where Ifa said, based on their celestial travel to perform sacrifice, and that it was more beneficial if Orisha went down before Ileke. So this was very traumatic for them because they had never been separated, but Ileke understood, And when Orisha descended, shortly thereafter, Ileke descended and had a place to descend upon, because Orisha had a body and Ileke is a necklace. There's no point in a necklace going down first because it's going to hit the ground and possibly break from heaven. So in the Odu of Obekana, it was identified for you to be able to put a necklace on a body, the Orisha has to be assimilated, whether through, Iddosu or through Adimu process. So that's why you should not be wearing necklaces of Orishas that you have not received. That's why the first initiation of the Elekes served its purpose at the turn of the last century, before last century, 1900s. But now it's somewhat antiquated. It's somewhat symbolic. I don't judge anybody who does it, but I do judge results. And I've noticed that the majority of people that go through that process, things get a little antic for them. So, with a grain of salt and to each his own. But that's why Ifa Norumila said that that's the way it should be. And even more so, the first necklace you're supposed to receive is your Ilekefa, or the necklace of Ifa, right? Because this is the one that actually thwarted death and sickness and activated all the others. Because when the Orishas saw that, they're like, okay, we have Orula's necklace, but I want my own defense. So Shango did the red and white, Obatala all white, Yemaya blue, Olokun with the Segi. So Obekana.
All right, here we go.
Awesome. What does it mean if your Idefa breaks? It could be that the materials have just run their course. It could be that it picked up negative spiritual vibration. Reach out to your Bawalao and have him ask the chain or analyze your Oddu to see what needs to be done.
Okay. Let's scroll here. We got about 5 minutes left, guys.
Oh, yeah?
So throw your questions in there.
Awesome.
All right. Here we go.
What does, I would imagine, Irete Ofung mean?
People typos. I typo too.
Irete Ofung is an Oddu of Ifa. El ese Otun Irete, the right leg is Irete. El ese Osi, or the left leg, is Ofung. So together it is Irete Ofung, or Ate Fung, or Ate File, or Irete File as it's known in the Lukumi tradition, which basically means Irete needs a house. So with that Oddu, the person has to make home ownership and construction with partnership and a family their priority.
All right, we got a supporter question here from Jovan Kronos.
Thank you. Any advice for an Omo Shango with Ogunda Fung? Be very patient. And that sign was where Shango and Oshun were married, and they entered into a domestic dispute that led to their divorce. So in that Odu, Shango wanted Oshun to be a certain way, but she had her own behavior, and he didn't assimilate it, so they ended up separating. So whoever you choose to make your life with, understand there's things they're going to modify to your character and things they're not. So if you're not satisfied with 100% of them, it's better to be with them 0% of the time.
Okay. One more question.
Any words on Irete Meji? Baba Meji Elemere. Clean yourself with eggs frequently.
Really?
Yeah. Because in that Odu, it speaks of a verse that has to do with the egg being one of the strongest sarayeyes or cleanings there is. So every now and again, Irete Meji should clean themselves with an eggs or 2 eggs, being that it's a Meji. So.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Isn't it taboo to drink in front of Anya? Well, here's the thing. Is if we're going to feed the drum or we're going to make offerings to the Bada, right? We have to spit alcohol on her first. So the taboo isn't ingesting alcohol. The taboo isn't even alcohol touching the lips. The taboo is becoming belligerent under the influence of alcohol. I love my brother drummers. I love everybody that attends the drum. But we have to understand there's a big difference between a celebration and a party. The guys that swore me in, the guys that I've trained with, a lot of them wouldn't even pop the bottle until the drum was completely over. So, now mind you, that might be a little extreme. I also don't think we need a 1.75 Johnny Walker from the start of the drum that's done by the end. But, something small and accessible, cleanse the throat and the palate for the brother that's singing or the brothers that are playing. Loosen them up. It really depends on your relationship with the drummers and their maturity level, and them understanding that they're priests directing a ceremony and not, rap artists. So.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. This is from Bo again.
Nice. What if someone has worn elekes without knowing the true meaning of them? What is the way to make sure no negativity comes
from that?
I mean, just take them off and wait till you're able to wear them. Other than that, there's going to be no negativity, and you didn't know. And some people will never know. And, more than likely nothing will happen. But this is what Ifa stipulated. So you're fine. Just wear the ones of the things you've received, and that's it. You're good.
All right, this is from TikTok. From Alo.
Okay.
What if you have dreams of the Orisha but are not initiated?
My wife has an amazing video on this on the TikTok channel. This is perfectly fine. If you look at the Odu of Babae Obe, Odudua would have dreams of Orishas and spiritualities before he was crowned. And it was through his dreams that he knew what to do in the crowning. Like Odudua literally crowned himself with the assistance of Asheda and Akoda, right? He told them, I want you to do this, this, and this to me, and this is how you make me king. In the Odu of Irete Suga, which is my Odu, was where the interpretation of Ifa first manifested or derived from the interpretation of dreams. And in the dream, Ifa Kandanche, Ifa Kanidashe, he saw Eshu, Shango, and Olofin, or maybe Odudua or Olodumare, God Almighty, who, what have you. But, it's okay to dream with Orisha, whether you're crowned or not, initiated or not. It's a dream. Badala is the king of dreams. So just based on that, he's the one who gives us dreams, whether we're initiated or not, and he's an Orisha. So it's really a non-topic, and my wife pretty much, solidified that with her video.
All right, back to YouTube. All right, we got from Lily Rose Flower.
Thank you.
199. Ask a question, homie.
Yeah.
If you didn't, I'll try and find it. But we got Trinity. Trinity got another questioner.
Oyekumbika's ancestral debt or inheritance, high spiritual IQ, and has to move forward with their consecratory rites, whether it be Orisha or Ifa priesthood.
All right, right under that. Best job, occupation.
For Osameji, oh man. Osameji, God, that's a really talented Odu. I mean, best job, other than Bawalao or Orisha, I don't know. Osameji, was the one who would perform the head rogations in Ife. So something to do with the head, maybe therapy, massage, I'm not sure. He was also a culinary master. And that Odu was where Osameji would make like akara or bean cakes and things like that for the children and give them out every day. And he was famed for that. So I'm not sure if any of those things fall under your expertise or interest.
Okay, so Lily Rose Flower got her questions in. There you go.
All right, question. I'm crowned Ochun. My sign came out that I can't have a manager that is a woman. My question is, I just got transferred to another location. I just found out my manager is in the same religion, but she is not crowned, but she wears a leke. Should I be worried? No. Ultimately, I think what your sign is saying is you're meant to be an entrepreneur because everybody has a manager somehow. You're just not meant to have one in the professional scope of things. So I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay. Question from Miss Sita P. Hold on, I lost it. Let me get where to go. She asked. Everything just reset. Hold on.
Okay.
She asked, any suggestions for Ogbe Obara?
Obebara.
Found it.
Any suggestions for Obebara? Wear white as much as possible. You're meant to initiate into Orisha. Shango and Obatala, you have to represent the same importance, right? That's the Odu of the two crowns. So Obe and Obara, Obe represents Obatala and Obara represents Shango. The person should wear Shango's necklace frequently if they've received their Shango icon or crowned it. But beautiful Odu, please crown.
All right, Keys got a question.
Here we go. Being initiated and having elekes, but having a medical card, is there any patakis on it or any taboo for smoking with them on? It's not a taboo, but you might want to take them off. But in the Odu of Ofun Mutaba or Ofun Batrupon was where Orumila consumed cannabis, and he had his ilekefa on, no problem. Obarayekun, Eshu consumed cannabis, no problem, with his stuff on. You got to kind of analyze what is my goal there. Does it really cost anything to take them off? I know for a fact Orumila's necklace isn't an issue. The other ones, but the necklaces really don't represent the Orisha. And at the end of the day, it's a plant. It's going to be a hotly debated topic. If you're going to do it, don't do it around people who could, gossip about it. And that's really that. Cannabis is not a taboo when, used productively and moderately. So enjoy life and, focus on things that matter, like studying. Because a lot of people be like, oh my God, what a taboo, you're smoking with your necklaces on, but they won't open a book to learn about our culture. So cannabis is not frowned upon within Ifa, moderately and productively.
All right, so we're at around 13,000 hearts.
Whoa.
On TikTok.
That's a lot of clicks.
It's a lot of clicky clicks. This question is from AKL.
How many people are watching on YouTube? Can you see?
You got 95.
Very nice.
And then on TikTok, we got 60.
Nice. For Super Bowl Sunday? Yeah.
So, also, people, if you're on TikTok and you have not subscribed on YouTube,
please subscribe to the
first of
YouTube
all,
channel.
what are you doing?
Come on. And subscribe to the TikTok channel. And anybody that's on YouTube that hasn't subscribed to TikTok, please give us a follow on there. Please.
Yeah, yeah. All right, this is from AKL. It says, where'd he go? I can manifest Oshun. What can I offer to her?
He can manifest Oshun?
That's what it says, yeah. I can manifest Oshun. What can I offer her? What can I offer to her?
I mean, as far as manifesting, I wouldn't know what aspect of manifestation he's making, but unless he has consecrated, coherent Orisha icons, you can't offer anything. But, basic offerings to Oshun, pumpkins, honey, flowers, but either you're offering it to an Orisha icon that was given by an initiated priest, or maybe you're taking it to the river, but it's not as effective. And people who aren't crowned really can't manifest an Orisha because you don't have what's necessary for that centrifuge, as I like to call it. So,
okay, TikTok. Can you talk about Odde Otura and
Otura
being a daughter of San Lázaro, along with any advice?
Yeah, so Odde Otura is also known as Odde Alara. It's where the secrets of Afimaye were first manifested, which is a path of Babaluaye. My best advice there is if you're going to crown, please crown Babaluaye and not Yemaya. It's where all the secrets of Azohano or Babaluaye first manifested. Enio Shabukeng is there. It's the father of the hunchback. Some people say it's Babaluaye. Some people say it's Obatala. But please crown him direct.
Okay. All right, this is from Taz, another one.
Oshe Osa Ejiobe. What does that mean? Those are two different Odus. Oshe Sa is an Odu, and Ejobe is an Odu. And each of them come with their set of information. Oshe Sa says, dress me slowly because I'm in a rush. And Ejobe says, God gives a beard to those who don't have a jaw. So, yeah. It was just saying, like, if you don't have a chin, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've all seen my chin, right?
Oh, my gosh. Really?
Yeah.
That's okay. All right, here we go.
Ejobe. Why David Tobo? Any advice for Yemaya with 8-8 on my head? Well, if you're referring to the Rindi Logun, 8-8 doesn't necessarily exist. The number 8 does. So you have Unle on top of Yemaya. It's funny because a lot of the proverbs in Unle or the number 8 are also in Ejobe. In Africa, they actually call Eye Unle Ejobe or the number 8, but it's still the shell. The best offering to offer Yemaya there is batata, or Spanish sweet potato, also known as cucunducu or buñato, right? That is the best offering you can give to your guardian Orisha in any of its various forms. I know there's a dessert in Cuba called malarrabia, which is with the batata and the yam and the melao, and it's really delicious. It's worth taking a look and making an offering to her of. So, nice.
Okay, we got boom.
Thank you. Grammy was a santero. Orisha's was buried. Was her. What do we do with the vessels? If they're empty, they can be reused after being washed, or you can discard them if it's too emotionally bearing to keep them. If they're full of orishas, you need to contact the babalao and an oriate, so we can take her through the tutu process. God bless her.
All right, let's see here. We got so many questions here. Taz also asked, "What does that mean?" I
don't remember the question. God forgive me.
Hold on, let me go back. That question.
So basically, those are proverbs associated with each of those odus. So, like, for example, Shesa, dress me slowly because I'm in a rush is like saying we need to slow down in life. Like, we can't be in so much of a rush that, God forbid, we're in a car and we run a red light and we get hit. Ejobe says God gives a beard to those who don't have a chin. So it's true, you may not have one thing, but you have another that can compensate for it. No one's perfect. Unfortunately, Ejobe is an odu of a lot of vanity where the person is overly critical of themselves. So that's one interpretation of each set of information.
Okay, this is from Giancomo Bonocasa, and that's from TikTok here. It says, can you tell me about a path of Oshun Olodi?
Oshun Olodi is basically any time you see Oshun in her capacity of Apetebi. They say she's associated with the owl. In that case, she's mentioned in Ejobe, where it speaks of Orumila was an owl and his wife was an owl, and they were the protectors of the city of Ife. the wisdom that came from her being married to Orula and learning Ifa to excellence, and ultimately learning the shell as well. Any of the patakis where Oshun was the apetebi, whether it was Ochelezo and she brought the water to the table, or what's another one? In Ochetura, when she was feeding the maize and she poisoned them because they weren't appreciative. Any of those things. So anytime you see Ololodi, it's referring to the apetebi. So any pataki that mentions Oshun in her role of apetebi is referring to Ibu Ololodi.
Okay. Boom.
Any advice for Yemaya con Oro Painle with the number 7? Yeah, Odde. There's a proverb in the shell that I always liked where it says, the warrior of Orisha does not go to battle with a spear. So that Oddu says, by nature, the person is going to be aggressive. You have to avoid aggressivity or aggressiveness, and you need to begin to address your conflicts with logic and tact, right? Because the more aggressive or physical you try to be, the worse your outcomes are going to be. But the day you start addressing things from a methodical and logical fashion, people are going to do what you want them to, right? So Odde has a gift for speech, for sure.
Okay, Sandra says reading came out Irosu Meji.
Iroso Meji. Oh, so Iroso Meji, one of the Mejis, the person's meant for initiation for sure. If it's a woman without hand of Ifa, definitely needs Kofa. If they have Kofa, and even more so if they're a child of Oshun, they should crown Orisha for sure.
Okay. Let's see here. Boom.
Any advice for Irete Batrupong? It's my hand of Ifa sign. So Irete Batrupong or Irete Batutu means Irete is the new king. So it says that the person is going to go through a transition soon in their life where they're going to become a superior to somebody. And with that comes conflict. So Ifa says you need all the spiritual backing you can get to accomplish this huge goal and be able to maintain it. Because getting it is one thing and having it is another. So that's what we want, is that stability.
Okay. Let's see here. This is from Jasmine on TikTok. Where'd it go? Every time I look, it refreshes. Hold on.
Forgive me.
Any advice for children of Obatala who carried a sign Erete Odde?
Be careful how you speak to people. And the Odu Irete Ndi is where the Kasheoro first manifested. So it says that everything that comes out of the person's mouth must be blessed and positive. So Ifa says as long as you maintain a positive form of speech and communication, you'll always be blessed by Orishas and your guardian Orisha, most importantly.
Okay.
And wear your wedding ring as frequently as possible. And if you're not married, it's ideal to have a nice, long-lasting relationship there.
All right, back to YouTube. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, back to YouTube. Last couple questions here before we get out of here. We got...
Alrighty then. Obamoro is my path of Obadala. Any info, hard to find. I'll gift you a song. Obamoro ileala, Obamoro ileala. When you sing that song to Obamoro, Oba King, Moro speaks, Ile house, Allah dreams. So basically what that song is saying is Obamoro is the king that resides in the house of dreams. So that's actually my Obadala path. So if you didn't have a path or a song for that, it's Obamoro ileala. So really beautiful song, really simple. Shout out to my godson Mike for that one.
All right.
Perky D. You could try talking him into behaving himself, but it's biscuits to a pear.
I don't know what that's about.
Is it referring to me? Because if you give me a biscuit, I'll behave.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I don't know what that was. Okay.
That's awesome.
All right.
Norma, any advice for a child Obatala with Otura to you or Otura Irete? That's my sign backwards. The best offering to the Orishas there is gin or alcohol. Be very reserved with alcohol. Never drink and leave the house. Try to always drink at home. And that sign, you give 2 hens to Obatala. So you want to get that done as soon as possible with your Babalawo or Olorisha.
All right.
Hi, does one have to be initiated to find out their guardian Orisha? Yes, you have to be initiated in the hand of Ifa. You're going to have some people who do something called a Bahala, which we don't do because we just find it to be a little incoherent, because knowing your Orisha without your hand of Ifa sign is like, I don't know, knowing your DNA type without your blood type. I don't know. But You need to be initiated, ideally, in the hand of Ifa process to identify the Orisha that is meant for you. So, yes.
Okay. Perky D said that wasn't my comment.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
We've been hacked.
This says I asked about the. Okay.
Okay. Well, yeah, the Boveda is great. Make sure you take care of it at least once a week. Change the water. Couple prayers. Keep it white in the beginning as you're developing. Flowers, candle, all those things. But if you really want to learn about the Boveda, take the class with my wife. Professional Boveda.
All right, we got a $5 from Rising Phoenix. So you
Thank
got a question
you.
to hurry up and ask it because we're about to.
We got about 4 minutes, right?
Yeah.
7:15.
Yeah, let's see what TikTok is saying.
All right.
People are saying I love the way you explain things.
Thank you. Rumila is great.
What about a sign of Ifa Odirete?
Odirete is Odi or Idi Amileke. It says wear your necklaces so you don't forget who you are. If you don't have any necklaces, you need to go through the proper initiatory rites to wear them, specifically the hand of Ifa or so on. Be careful with your feet. Make sure you take care of your podiatry to make sure that, that aspect is healthy, because that's an Odu, unfortunately, of amputations, complications of circulation and diabetes, funguses. Be very careful with your feet,
Okay. Here you go.
Any advice for Irete Obe or Mochango? Please crown Orisha. In the Odu of Irete and Telu was where Shango was one of the most moral examples of integrity. In that Odu, unfortunately, Shango had to reveal to his father Obatala that his brother Igbing, or the snail, was addicted to alcohol. And because of it, Obatala chose to kill his son rather than see him in that condition. So in that Odu, it says try to maintain ambiguity when it comes to relationships with your blood relatives, especially within your nucleus. But please crown Orisha for sure.
All right, here we go.
Jeremiah, have you ever come in contact with a child of Nana Buruku? No. If so, can you explain your encounter with them, what they
are like?
I haven't met one. Trying to think if in Cuba I met one. I heard they crowned one here directly recently, which is cool. I know she can be crowned direct. I haven't met one, but I know that she's very popular in Brazil. You might have some more luck over there. I know she still gets initiated into directly in Nigeria as well. But amazing Orisha, really obscure Orisha, but seen as the mother of all the Orishas. There's a debate between her and Yemu, or Yembo, however you want to translate it. But yeah, she's great. When you receive San Lázaro, some houses give them together. So there's actually a verse for her in my sign where one of her spirit animals is the snake. So great Orisha, but I haven't met anybody, either a child identified or crowned. I have heard of them though, but I've never met them.
All right, Rising Phoenix, who left the $5 donation there. They said, "Can you help?" They sent the question, but you're gonna have to repaste it because I can't find it. So Rising Phoenix, please paste your question back in the chat there. Please. Okay, let's go back to TikTok here. Any Odus for Otura Arete?
Odu for Otura Irete, more than likely meaning Pataki.
Yes.
Otura Tiu was where the Babalawo tried to pull out an Odu throwing the coconut, and the client embarrassed him because the Babalawo told him nothing that they were going through. So Otura Itiju, or Tiju, means Otura got embarrassed. That's why you kind of go like this when that Odu comes out. Is it saying you lost your face, like you can't show your face because you did something incorrect. So try to avoid embarrassment there. It's usually provoked by a lack of studying or alcohol. So if you can avoid those two things, or at least interact with the second one in moderation, you'll be all right. But Otura to you.
Okay. Any prayer for the Baburia de Ifa?
I need that one again, Phil. What happened?
Hold on.
Let me see it.
It's where's it at? It's
a little bit up. I think it was up.
Oh, it's stuck. Oh my gosh! See, that's what happens. It does this one. See this? Every time.
Any prayer
for? Oh my goodness! My computer. There we go.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, here, let's go to Taz.
Hi, what does idea según Ota? One Osheko.
Look at my computer, it crashed.
Oh, I'll snap. Oh man, the computer's giving up.
I know. Here we go. This is their question.
What does idea según Ota one Osheko, and Iwori Rebemin. The last two Odus are a little discombobulated for me to know which ones are which. Irea Shegumota means a blessing of overcoming enemies and obstacles.
Okay. All right. This one, I don't know what that means, but it's like
what's going on? What's going on, guys? The commercials from the Super Bowl must be rolling.
Y'all been.
What is my favorite Adimu for Ochung? Believe it or not, my favorite Adimu for Ochung is red palm oil. And a lot of people are like, oh my God, she's Orisha Fum Fum. But if you read the Odu of Osaure or Osautura Alawo, it says that Ochung became her wealthiest and most satisfied when she would consume epo, or red palm oil. And over there across the water in Nigeria, her brothers love giving it to her. So my favorite offering to Ochung, besides the common Oshinshin, the honey, the beer, the pumpkin, and all those things, is red palm oil, one that you might not be too familiar with. You know, because on this side, they're like, no, you can't give her red palm oil. She's Orisha Fum Fum, or Orisha that is white. But even with that, she doesn't care. So,
is there a time limit on how long you can go live on TikTok? Because they cut the live off on TikTok.
I think so. I think it's like an hour. I don't
okay.
know.
Well, yeah, it cut it off on TikTok. So,
yeah.
All right. So, let's get out of here. But I don't see the question from
Rising Phoenix.
Yeah. So,
please comment it. You know, when you have the opportunity. Please comment it on the live. We'll get a notification to the app, and we'll respond for sure. Please hold us accountable with that. We appreciate you sincerely. Guys, we appreciate all of you, you know, for taking the time out of Super Bowl Sunday to be with us. A lot of great things happened today, a lot of great interviews. You know, Erica Poroye was able to, in my opinion, orchestrate the greatest spiritual panel of Spiritus Espiritismo, period, but also in English today. So members got to see that. The public is going to see that soon. And I think it was a perfect example of fraternity amongst that tradition. So I wanted to go ahead and give her those kudos once again.
Their question came up. Sorry to interrupt.
Here we go.
All right, on the bottom.
Okay, big one. Bendición, Baba. Boruboya. Thank you so much for these live Q&As. The pleasure's all mine. Baba, in the Dilogun, can you help interpret 9-7 with Ofo? And Ochin, okay. That word I'm not familiar with, but guardian angel Ochung, I would imagine, with the number 9. We don't interpret the double letter for the Dilogung on this channel, not because we can't, but because we really don't see it as productive. So you have the letter Osa, and the number 9 Mesang, on top of Oshun. That Odu speaks of a lot of organization, mental stability, and emotional stability that comes from spiritual alignment, right? That Odu speaks heavily of the Iami, right? Even in the context of Erindi Logun. I'm not saying that we have to perform Ipeshe there, but we do have to be careful with the intense nature that can come from feminine overstimulation in our surroundings. So make sure you keep the women in your life happy, is basically what that Odu is saying. Being that Oshun is Olori Iami, right? Or the head of the Iami. But in that Odu, it speaks a lot about winds, natural disasters, instability, anxiety. You want to make sure you take time to address yourself emotionally and give yourself time to recharge. Because that Odu has moments of just sporadic anxiety. So, Boru.
All right, folks. I think today's been a very successful day, my man.
Oh, man. Well, it wouldn't be possible without you or all these fabulous people that are watching us. Once again, guys, thank you for taking the time to watch on Super Bowl Sunday. Closing thoughts, right? BotanicaCandlesandMore.com is up and running for all services and products we ship. Look out for the Mojuba class if you want to learn about the Mojuba or Iba from Lukumi or Isheshe. We're going to get into all that in this class. Translations, theoretics, practicality, pronunciation, etc. Can't wait to see you there in Joseph Babai Ifa School. Catch us on the audio cast on all major platforms if you can't catch us here on YouTube or other platforms, such as, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, etc. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. A big thank you from all of us here at Our Roots Podcast. And until next time, see the light.
And join the membership program.
Don't forget about that.
Yeah.
Boru.
All right, see ya.
Dale.